Death, rebirth, endings, and beginnings. Those are the characteristics of Scorpio season. This season and this month of November requires us to take a hard look deep underneath the surface to acknowledge endings in our lives so that we can make way for newness and for the things that we truly want. For you, Cancer, there is an emphasis on your 5th house this month of expressing yourself and giving life to things that are indicative of your character and for seeing yourself in the world around you. You guys have done the work. A lot of you have taken that nasty medicine in order to heal yourself so that you can give life to newness. Are you ready to hear all about it and take that leap of faith? All right, let's go. What's up, Cancer? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, this video is going to be the astro forecast and horoscope for you for November 2020. Much like every other video I've done over the last couple of months, I start out by saying that November is intense. I mean, 2020 as a whole has been intense, so this should come as no surprise to you, right? We have a powerful conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, an intense new moon in the sign of Scorpio, a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini to close out the month. And for the majority of the month, we're in the sign of Scorpio. We're in the midst of Scorpio season. So of course it's going to be intense, going to be a little frightening, mysterious, but most importantly, it's going to be transformative. For you, Cancer, you have a serious emphasis on your 5th house of self-expression. Your 5th house is the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio symbolizes your 5th house of self-expression. And the 5th house covers romantic partners, it covers creative projects, creative endeavors, and it also covers children. So this is the area of your life that's highlighted right now and that is going to undergo a serious transformation. So let's get into the astrology of the month and see exactly how this is all going to play out. I start off by saying that we're still in the midst of Scorpio season. And one of the themes of Scorpio season is death and rebirth, endings and new beginnings. Scorpio season is when we have Halloween. It's when we have All Souls Day. And in many cultures, Scorpio season and the entire month of November is dedicated, they are dedicated to venerating our ancestors and communing with spirits and the dead, because that is when the veil is at its thinnest. During Scorpio season, the veil is super thin and it allows us to commune with spirits and other worldly beings very easily. And so there's this element of death that Scorpio season really brings to the forefront and really brings to our attention. There's a lot of negative connotation surrounding death and the whole notion of death. Endings and death are typically viewed as negative, bad things, sad things, sometimes things to be avoided. But it's really in death, it's really in endings that we are able to see new beginnings and experience new beginnings. Death is nothing to be feared. It is a part of the cycle of life, and with it ushers in new life. And that is the theme of Scorpio season. It requires us to sort of take a hard look at things that are underneath the surface. Scorpio in general deals with the occult, it deals with mysticism, it also deals with power, and it also deals with the underworld. Scorpio and Pluto go hand in hand, and Pluto is associated with the underworld, the world of the dead, the world of the non-living. If you take a look at the zodiac wheel, right? The zodiac wheel is actually fashioned according to Egyptian mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology. And ancient Egyptian mythology believes that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? We all know this. But when the sun sets in the west and before it rises in the east the next day, it traverses the underworld. So while it's nighttime, while we cannot see the sun, it is making a trip through the underworld. This is the essence of Scorpio season. And this is where we gain a lot of information and we gain a lot of insight, particularly this month, especially with the astrology that's going on. So let's get into it. One of the major days of November is November 12th, and that will have already passed since I'm filming this after the fact. But on November 12th, we had a powerful conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I talk about this great conjunction quite a lot. And the great conjunction is this conjunction between Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. It's these three planets coming together, mixing and mingling their energies, that's responsible for a lot of the chaos, conflict, and turmoil that we're experiencing in society. Everything from the pandemic to political and racial unrest, a lot of that has to do with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in Capricorn. The purpose of this is to change our society. Things that no longer serve us, things that are not of our highest good are being eradicated. Those structures and foundations are crumbling and we are rebuilding this new earth. And again, this great conjunction is really responsible for all of that. But apart from that, there's a lot of chaos and conflict, but there are these little pockets of like positive energy as we make our way from destruction to construction. And one of these little pockets of positive energy is this Pluto conjunct Jupiter, which again happened on November 12th. The theme for that conjunction is hidden treasure, right? I want you to think about diamonds and diamonds in the rough. Diamonds are formed of earth matter. They're formed from coal and other minerals that are buried deep underneath the surface of the earth. If you look at earth matter before it forms into a diamond, it seems sort of like worthless, right? It just seems like dirt, rocks, minerals, whatever, things that we don't necessarily attach a lot of value to. But if you add a lot of pressure and a lot of time, you get a diamond, and diamonds are beautiful, they're luxurious, and we attach a lot of value to it. So that is sort of the theme of this conjunction. It's finding treasure amongst things that are seemingly worthless. It's finding treasure in hidden places. And this bodes well with the whole theme of Scorpio, because Scorpio is all about hidden things, the occult, mysticism, going deep underneath the surface. It's there where you will find your treasure. So there's a lot of inner work to be done during Scorpio season, because that is where you're going to find your abundance, your good fortune, and all of that positive energy. All right, so that's what happened. And that energy is still available to us, even though that conjunction, that exact conjunction happened a week ago. It's really available to us throughout November, so keep that in mind. The following day, on November 13th, we had Mars finally going direct in the sign of Aries. For you, Cancer, this is happening in your 10th house of career and public life. So Aries was retrograde beginning back in September. And when Aries was retrograde, it was debilitated. Aries is associated with I'm sorry, Mars. Mars is in the sign of Aries, but Mars, the planet, its energy is associated with vitality, with stamina, with endurance, with defensiveness and aggression. So Mars energy is very get up and go. It's very action oriented. But when it was retrograde, that energy was debilitated. It really didn't feel like getting up and going anywhere. It was very sort of stagnant. That's the best way to describe Mars retrograde. But now that it is going direct, it's full steam ahead, all systems go, and you're going to feel a turbo boost of energy, particularly as it relates to your career and public life. Right? So now, if there are certain things that you want to initiate with respect to your career, if you want to look for a new job, enter a new industry, work on your social status, work on your reputation, all of those things, initiating those things is going to actually go well now because Mars is now direct. So also keep that in mind. And one thing that I forgot to mention that I'm going to circle back to is this Jupiter and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. That is taking place in your 7th house of relationships. So I feel like for you guys in particular, when it comes to your marriages, your commitments, your business partnerships and business associations, there's going to be this element of good fortune, but it's going to require you to go deep underneath the surface. So relationships are going to have to get real. You're going to have to get to the heart of the matter. You're going to have to dive deep under the surface and really get to the heart of the matter, especially when it comes to emotions. By doing that, I feel like that's where you guys are going to find your hidden treasure. That's where you guys are going to find abundance and prosperity, and possibly even the key to having better relationships, better marriages, better business associations. You know, you get it. All right, so back on it, let's move on to the new moon in Scorpio. So, like I said, you guys have a heavy emphasis on your 5th house this month because that is the house of Scorpio for you, Cancer. So we have the sun in Scorpio, at least until November 21st. We had Mercury in Scorpio, the new moon in Scorpio, and Venus is going to be transiting into Scorpio come the end of the month. So you've got 4 planets all chilling in your 5th house of self-expression. Now, again, this new moon in Scorpio happened in your 5th house, and new moons are all about new beginnings. They're all about setting intentions, planting new seeds. But given the fact that this new moon was in Scorpio, it was more so about endings than new beginnings. And the theme of that new moon was that there are certain things that need to end in our lives, certain endings that we need to face and process so that we can have these new beginnings. You know, if you've ever planted anything, right? Once you have a harvest, you really need to till the soil so that you can plant new things. Think of this new moon in Scorpio as sort of pulling out all of the weeds and the remnants of your previous harvest so that you have this fresh soil that you can now plant new seeds in. But you got to get rid of those weeds. You've got to face those endings and confront those deaths, confront those inner demons so that you can make room for the new things that you want to plant and the new things that you want to have in your life. Again, this was all happening in your 5th house of self-expression. So there may be certain areas in your life, particularly as it relates to your creativity, your power to create things, and your power to express yourself that you need to confront. Certain demons within yourself, certain shadow work needs to be done so that you can have this new beginning, so that you can have the power and the full capacity to express yourself. For some of you, it has to do with the issue of conceiving and having children. Certain things in your life need to change. You may need to end certain things, get rid of certain things in your life so that you have the ability to create children, to conceive and give birth to children. For others of you, this may have to do with creativity and your creative power. Some things in your life may have to be eradicated so that you can have the power to create and manifest things in your life. So that's how that new moon in Scorpio played out for you. I'm going to leave a link to the new moon in Scorpio video that I did a couple of days ago so that you can check that out and learn all about it and how it affects you. So moving right along, on the 21st, we have the sun moving into the sign of Sagittarius. So now your focus is going to shift From self-expression, romantic partners, and children, now it's going to shift towards work and health matters. Your focus, your drive, your attention is now going to be geared toward organizing your day-to-day responsibilities, your health, your diet, your body. All of those things come up for review once the sun moves into the sign of Sagittarius. I'll get into that more in my Sagittarius videos next month, but I just wanted to give you the heads up of what you can expect for the end of November and going into the beginning of December. That same day, we have Venus moving into your 5th house of self-expression when Venus transits into the sign of Scorpio. So now it's going to be about your romantic partnerships and maybe your dating life. How do those fit and what value do you place on those? And how does that work with your self-expression? I feel like Venus in Scorpio is going to make you take a hard look at how your relationships either help your creativity and help you express yourself, or they may stifle your creativity. They may show you that maybe when you get into relationships, you sort of lose yourself. I feel like that is going to be a major theme for you, Cancer, once Venus moves into the sign of Scorpio. And then finally, we end the month on a very big note with a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. So full moons normally illuminate. They either show you the culmination of work that was already done, or they shed light on things that have been in the dark. They uncover things. So a full moon lunar eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. So this is going to happen in a very big way. I want you guys to think back to May of this year, May of 2020. In that month, we had a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. And what that did was it probably eclipsed something into your life, right? It probably brought something into your life that needed to be there. I feel like this full moon lunar eclipse is going to show you the progress with respect to that. It's going to show you the culmination of things that happened back in May. For others of you, I feel like this full moon lunar eclipse is going to shed light on something that's been in the dark in a very big way. And for you, Cancer, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 12th house. 12th house is all about resting, it's about recharging, but it's also about confinement, it's also about self-reflection, and it's also about secret enemies. So that may mean that you may learn about someone who has been against you. You may learn about an enemy, and that may come to light under the light of this full moon. And the good thing is that it may come to light because it's going to be eradicated. It's going to be eclipsed out of your life. This person, I should say, is going to be eclipsed out of your life. For others of you, there's going to be this element of self-reflection, perhaps from May, right? Earlier this year in May, there may have been some personal development, some self-reflection that you may have started to undertake. And I feel like this full moon lunar eclipse is going to bring that to the surface. Perhaps there are certain things about your personality, certain things that you've reflected on that now you realize you can eradicate out of your life, that are going to be eradicated out of your life, eclipsed out of your life, come this full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. Again, that is on the very last day of November, and so we are ending the month with a serious bang. Like, it's going to be very intense and jarring. Eclipses themselves hold a lot of powerful energy. So much so that a lot of ancient civilizations would fear eclipses for the sheer power that they exude. And a lot of people in the spiritual community will tell you that you shouldn't do any sort of ritual work during eclipses because the energy is all over the place. I feel like the best way to work with eclipse energy is just to sit back and watch what happens. Observe. Really, like, pay attention to what happens around the time of the eclipse, because it's really important and shows you either what needs to come into your life or what needs to go. Being that we're dealing with a full moon lunar eclipse, this is going to be about what needs to go. Eclipses are all about rearranging your life. It's the universe rearranging your life for you. During solar eclipses, new moon solar eclipses, things are eclipsed in. So that's the universe's way of adding things to your life. During a full moon lunar eclipse, that is when things are eclipsed out of your life. That is when spirit takes whatever isn't serving you and rips it from your life. A little dramatic, but very necessary in order to get you to where you need to be and for the right things to be in your life and at your disposal. So yeah, that's pretty much the astrology for the month of November. If you would like to know more detailed information about November, I'm going to put the links to the November 2020 horoscopes. It gives you in-depth transit information regarding your ruling planet and everything you can expect for the month of November. Don't forget that you can also read for your sun, moon, and rising signs so you can get the full comprehensive picture of what November is going to look like for you. All right, Cancer. So now that we've gotten through the astrology, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. I have to say that when I was shuffling for you guys, the message came through that there's like this one little thing that needs to be adjusted. I feel like you're going about things the right way and things are progressing in your life as they should, but there's one little thing that has to be adjusted. And interestingly enough, you guys got a bonus card this month. There was one card that just flew out of the deck while I was shuffling. And typically I don't take anything that falls on the ground, but I was told that you guys get this bonus card. So I'm interested to see what this bonus card is. But in any event, let's get into it. All right. First card out is Envy. And it says, I am the same as everybody but with different challenges. All right. You guys have a lot of transformation going on in your 7th house. So this month, it's like your 5th house and your 7th house are lit up. And interestingly enough, 5th house covers romantic partnerships. It covers like the act of sex. It covers, dating and things like that. Whereas the 7th house covers marriage, commitment, relationships to which you are bound, whether they are personal or business. I feel like this concept of energy, or this concept of energy, I mean to say this concept of envy, or this energy of envy, is rearing its head in your relationships. I feel like either you or your partner is experiencing envy on some type of level, and I feel like it's going to come to the surface this month in order to be dealt with. Remember I told you that you guys have to take a deep dive this month, particularly with it being Scorpio season. There's remnants of envy that maybe some of you need to work on at this time. Maybe it's envy that's sort of simmering underneath the surface that needs to be addressed and needs to be eradicated from your life in order to have healthy relationships. But let's take a look at the rest of the cards and see if that plays out. All right, we've got confusion, like signals across. It's so blurry, right? This is like when you're old school, like television sets, when you would change the channel and sometimes you would have this interference and that snow, right? When it comes to the television transmission, there's a certain level of confusion that's going on right now. I feel like you and your partner may not be seeing eye to eye. And maybe there's envy involved, but it's causing you a certain amount of confusion. So much so that it's really like you're not able to make any progress because things just aren't what they seem. But I feel like this is what's going on the surface. Remember, this is Scorpio season that we're in. And everything about Scorpio season is about depth. It's about substance. It's not about anything superficial. And I feel like this confusion energy is what's on the surface. This is the superficial energy that we're talking about, this confusion. I feel like once you dive deep into the situation, that's when things are going to start to make sense to you. And that's when you're going to start to see what's what. We've got leadership, right? And what number is this? This is an 8 and 1. This is a 9. 9 typically signifies like singleness, but it also signifies a level of completion. I'm hearing that there's a certain amount of like you need to take charge of your relationships. That's not to say that you have to overtake someone or try to control your partner. But I feel like this is signifying that you need to find your individual power within relationships. Remember how I said that you guys have a very strong emphasis on your 5th house. And your 5th house is all about your self-expression. It also includes your romantic partnerships. And once Venus goes into your 5th house by the end of the month, it's going to show you how your relationships either stifle your creativity or enhance your creativity. And it's also about power. There's a certain amount of power and leadership that you need to take over your life. Some of you need to stop letting, it's like you get into relationships and you just lose yourself. You lose the ability to create and express yourself as an individual. Instead, some of you express yourself as part of a pair. You're either someone's girlfriend or someone's wife or someone's counterpart. And Spirit's like, nah, I need you to take autonomy over your own life and not lose yourself in relationships. I feel like that's what this card is speaking to. It's like you're almost at the end of a cycle where you're realizing that that's not how you need to identify. You need to identify as yourself first and take autonomy over your life. We have the garden. The garden is all about public spaces. It's about being in public, right? For you guys, this directly relates to your 10th house where Mars is currently sitting. Mars just went direct in your 10th house of career and public life. So I feel like there are certain actions that you can take now in order to be seen. Remember how I said that there is this transformation that's going on in your 7th house of relationships, right? With Mars finally going direct and giving you that drive, that push, that ambition to be seen, I feel like it's almost thrusting you into public so that you guys can start dating and finding partners if you're not coupled already. For others of you who are coupled, I feel like this speaks directly to your reputation and it speaks to your career. There's a certain element of being thrust into the public eye and finally being seen that that energy is like available to you now with Mars having just gone direct. All right. This is beautiful. We've got new life. 3 and 9 make 12, which reduces to a 3. New life. I'm hearing that this, I'm like tongue-tied. This directly relates to children. New life, creating new life. 3, you, your partner, and a child. You guys really have the possibility for this now. Children are very transformative, right? But with your 5th house being lit up during this month of Scorpio, I feel like you guys are undergoing this transformation in order to have a better relationship with your children or to create new life altogether. There's something really profound going on with you, Cancer, with respect to children. But it has to do with your relationships. I feel like things are turning around and things are being moved in a way such that you're now able to create this new life, if you so choose. For others of you, it may not be creating a new life literally. It may be creating a new life with respect to your romantic partnerships or just creating a new life for yourself in the way that you express yourself and express your individuality. But whatever it is, it's very profound and very powerful. That powerful transformational energy is allowing you to take autonomy over your life, really express yourself, and even create new life. Because again, it's your 5th house that's being lit up this month of November. All right? All right, this is nice. We've got opportunity. With all these gold coins here, I feel like this also directly relates to your 10th house that I was just talking about before. The opportunity to really make some coin this month, particularly as it relates to your career and your public life, like that energy is available to you. Again, with Mars having just gone direct, I feel like that energy is really available to you. Now, I feel like whatever strides you make, whatever actions you take with respect to your career, your reputation, your social status, is going, you have the opportunity to really secure the bag and really get some coin when it comes to that. So keep that in mind, Cancer. That's really important. All right. So now this is the bonus card that you guys were chosen to receive. So let's see what it is. Ooh. This is higher power. Spirit is really looking out for you this month. Remember how I said that the veil is extra thin during Scorpio season, and it allows us to commune with spirit very easily, more easily than we're usually able to, during other times of the year. I feel like spirit is really looking out for you this month in terms of opportunities, career opportunities, money opportunities, but also with respect to giving new life, either to yourself or to a child, giving life to a child. Spirit is really like, there is such a higher power at work here. And being that this is a number 4, it's stability. Some of you are worried about having enough money to start a family, having enough money to give birth to something. Some of you, it may be a business that you're trying to give birth to. There's something that you want to give life to, and you are concerned about having the resources and the funds to do that. Spirit is looking out for you this month and is going to help you with that, give you the resources you need. Even bring other people into the mix who could also help you. Remember I said we have this card, the Garden, right? Which is all about being in public. I feel like you guys are going to be seen. You guys are going to be put in a position where people can see you in order to help you, in order to be able to bless you with these opportunities, to help you have a stable foundation so that you can create new things, whether it be a business, whether it be a creative endeavor, or whether it be a family, a child. You get the idea. So you guys are in a good position this season, this Scorpio season, this month of November, to receive assistance as is orchestrated by spirit. All right, sounds good. So let's get into the tarot and see what other messages we have for you, Cancer. Look at this. Your 7th house and 5th house are lit up this month. So you guys can really get into some good partnerships, healthy. You see this caduceus in the middle of this card? This is a healthy relationship, a relationship of good health. So if it's a romantic partnership, if it's a business partnership, you guys are put in a position to have this come together. Since the Great Conjunction has been in your 7th house of relationships, I feel like the beginning of 2020 and into summer was all about dismantling relationships or dismantling parts of relationships. I feel like this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn is all about the construction of new relationships. Y'all went through the destruction. Am I saying the right word? It's like deconstruction and dismantling of relationships. And now this is a new time of rebuilding relationships and constructing relationships for you. All right, let's get some more cards out here. Yeah, we've got the 6 of Swords. This is about moving on. This directly relates to what I was saying before about the sun rising and setting. And when it sets off into the underworld. It makes a journey into the underworld. This is the sun rising again in the east the next morning. You guys are on the brink of a new beginning, a rising, an awakening. Many of you have already done that work of traversing the underworld, and now you are starting, the sun is rising again, particularly as it relates to relationships. I also feel like your outlook on relationships has changed for the better. And you guys have this renewed sense of sense of self, but really it's this renewal of how you feel about relationships. I feel like before, a lot of you were going through so much turmoil in your relationships that you almost gave relationships a negative connotation. You were like, maybe this isn't for me. I don't need this. Relationships are horrible. Men ain't shit or women ain't shit, whatever. And now I feel like having done the work and having found your hidden treasure, right, in that underworld and doing that shadow work and going through the trenches in these relationships, now you're like, you know what? I'm ready to give relationships or this relationship another chance, or I'm ready to get back out there. Relationships aren't bad. I'm not going to act like I want to be single because, it's been too painful for me when it comes to relationships. Now I'm really ready to embark on a relationship. I really want one. I really want to get involved in a relationship because you have this renewed sense of positivity, and your mind, your thoughts about relationships are like, they're pure now. They've been purified, if that makes sense. All right. Let's get some more cards here. All right, we have the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is about oppression. It can be about a lot of pressure, right? And I feel like this is how you guys have been feeling when it comes to your career or your public life. A lot of you have been feeling a lot of pressure. I also feel like this directly relates to this opportunity that you're going to receive. This opportunity is going to be really like substantial in a way. And some of you have been feeling stress and pressure when it comes to how you're going to provide for this new family that you want to start, or how you're going to get this business off the ground. A lot of you have been feeling very pressured and stifled when it comes to that. But with Mars having gone direct, again, I feel like it's like Spirit is going to bless you. Spirit is definitely going to breast you. Sorry. Spirit is going to bless you and alleviate some of this pressure that you've been feeling. Others of you are just really passionate about like starting a new relationship or taking your relationship to the next level. Remember, I said you guys have this renewed sense, this renewal energy when it comes to relationships. Your thoughts have been purified. I feel like that's like, this is saying that it's happening in a very sort of substantial sort of way. I couldn't help but notice this bottom at the bottom, I'm like tongue-tied right now. This card at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Wands is all about victory. So you guys really have some positive things coming about right now. You've traversed the underworld, you've made that journey, and now you're re-emerging and ready to rise anew. Again, this is also a card of passion, number one, but it's also a card of being seen, of being venerated. Again, you're going to be put in a position where resources are going to be available to you, or people are going to finally be able to see you in order to help you. Like, there's this sense of victory. This is perfect. This is the Fool card. This is the card of new beginnings. You guys have been purified. You've been purified through the fire. Some of your relationships have really been put through the fire. And you're now emerging as the phoenix rising. That's the whole point of Scorpio season. And you have a new beginning. Some of you, it may be a completely new relationship. Some of you, the fire that you've been through has been like on a personal level within yourself. And now you're emerging anew. And now it's time for you to get booed up. It's time for you to couple up and pair up with somebody. But regardless, it's like a brand new beginning for you guys. There's new life here. There's rising from the ashes. There's taking that leap of faith and having a brand new beginning. This Fool card also speaks to the presence of higher power. The Fool card asks us to take a leap of faith, knowing that Spirit's got us. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. Take that leap of faith. Start that new business. Get out there and try to date. Start trying to conceive a child. Express yourself. Spirit's got you. You don't have to worry. You could take that leap of faith. And you will be victorious here. All right, let's get 2 more cards from this deck. This is for Cancer for November 2020. What else we got here? Okay, look at this. Can't even make this up. Death, endings. You guys have already gone through this. Some of the other signs and some other people are still going through this death. You guys have gone through it already. And if you notice, they seem to be wearing the same color, this white garment. There's an element of purification through the fire. You've been purified through the fire. Y'all have gone through some real craziness. This is also like, this is fire energy, wands. And I see it's like this was you guys going through the fire. It was very intense, and there was a lot of pressure and restriction even when it comes to this. Y'all have been through the fire, and that is now over. That's done. And it's time to move on. It's time to get out there. It's time to be seen. One last card from this deck. Oh, beautiful. The star. Stars shine brightly, don't they? First, there's this element of healing that has undergone. So for some of you, it's been healing your body and preparing you to have children. For others of you, it's been healing your finances so you can finally open that business. And for others of you, it's been healing your relationship so now they are happy and healthy. Remember, I said with the presence of this caduceus in the middle, that's like the symbol for medicine. Some of you had to swallow some really nasty medicine, but it's ultimately made you better and it's made your relationships better. You guys have had healing, and now it is time to be seen. Some of you, when it comes to your career, you're really going to stand out. You're really going to stand out. This opportunity that I spoke about before, let me get that card to show you. That opportunity for money, for getting that coin, that's a promotion. That's a promotion, but some of y'all had to go through some craziness in order to get that. But now is your time to be seen, to shine brightly like a star. Some of you are going to have some wonderful like recommendations. I'm hearing this opportunity from someone may come in the form of a recommendation so that you can get that promotion. Others of you, you're going to be a star, especially if you like are online, if you have your own business, you're going to shine brightly. So this opportunity is going to come in the form of clients. It's going to come in the form of followers, of subscribers, but it is your time to shine. You have successfully done that work. You've successfully gone through the underworld, and now you are rising anew and you are going to shine brightly. Great stuff, Cancer. November is a good month for you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the World. Y'all have completed a cycle. This isn't just about completing a cycle. This is graduation. There's certain tests and lessons and exams y'all had to go through, and you guys passed. You guys passed. And you're moving on now. You're elevating. You're graduating. You're moving up a level. You're leveling up. Great stuff. All right. Let's get I don't need too much clarification here, but let's go a little deeper with some of these. I want to go into this partnership, this relationship, this partnership, this business agreement. What is it? Tell me more about it. Why is that card here? We've got the Seven of Cauldrons. This is like the Seven of Cups. This is about confusion. A lot of you were confused and couldn't see straight. On the surface, things looked very messy. They looked like this. Some of you that had to do with envy in your relationships. Envy was one of the things that had to be worked on. It's that medicine that you guys had to take in order to heal. It had to do with envy, to eradicate that, to fix that. That was the dis-ease that you guys were dealing with in your relationships that caused a lot of confusion. But that confusion, no more. It's over. Now you are very clear on where you want to go, who you want to be with, what you want to do. So that there was that element of confusion, perhaps with envy. But that's over and done with now. All right. Let's get one on this Ten of Wands, this intense pressure, this fire. The Queen of Wands. So I'm getting for some of you, when it comes to your career, there could have been a Queen of Wands that was making you go through hell. Wands are fire signs, so that's Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Or this could have been someone who was really in charge. Someone who was very confident, very blunt, very fiery. I feel like it was this person that was putting you through hell. And just because it's a queen doesn't mean that it was a woman. It could be a man or a woman. This could have been your partner. This could have been someone at your job, an authority figure. This could have been someone that was putting that pressure on you. But what's interesting is that the Queen of Wands, she's almost like the master of fire. I feel like in going through the fire, you leveled up and learned how to be the fire. Instead of being consumed by the fire, y'all learned how to be the fire. Dope shit. All right. Let's get one on this Six of Swords. The sun rising again in the east in the morning. What does it have to do with? Why is it here? Ten of Shields. This is where you're going. This new beginning that you're experiencing, this Fool card, jumping off the bridge and knowing that Spirit's got you. First of all, this is the card of ancestors. So ancestors are really looking out for you this month. That's one. Number two, this speaks directly to that opportunity I was talking about before. There's money here. You are moving towards this. Complete financial and material stability. That's what you guys are moving towards in your relationships, in your business, in your career. And this is what you're going to have. Again, those of you that are worried that you're not going to have enough resources to take care of a family, you will. You definitely will. And look at this. Again, we've got the Lovers here. So you can see that clearly. Again, your 7th house of relationships, your 5th house of self-expression. It's time to partner up. You're either going to have a better relationship with your current partner, moving on, leveling up in your current relationship, moving in, getting engaged, getting married, you know, that sort of thing. Or now it's time for you to get out there and be in a relationship. Relationship is going to find you. You're going to have the opportunity to get into a relationship. All right, Cancer. Great reading so far. Let's get 3 astrology cards to close out this great reading. All right. Chiron, healing. Remember I just said you guys had to swallow some medicine in order to heal you? That's what this is. That's what Scorpio season is all about. You guys did that already. You guys took that medicine, as nasty as it was. You endured that fire, that healing, and now you are healed. You're in great health, and now it's time to have that baby. Open that business. Take your relationship to the next level. Let's get 2 more cards here. We've got 11th house. 11th house is about friendship. It's about goals. It's about wishes coming true. And it's directly related to the Star card. Your wishes, the secret wishes that you have, what you would wish upon a star, those are finally coming true. Wishes fulfilled. Great reading, Cancer. One last card here to close out this reading. We got 2. You guys are getting extra cards this month. You guys are getting extra, is what I'm hearing. Like where everyone else gets something, Cancer, you guys get a little extra. Remember I said in the beginning of the reading, when I was shuffling the cards for you, I heard there's just this little thing that needs adjusting. I feel like that little thing is that little extra that you guys are getting. And the adjusting doesn't have to be done by you. This adjusting is being done by Spirit. Spirit is giving you that little extra oomph so that your wishes finally come true. All right, we have Scorpio season, transformation, intensity, regeneration. Those of you having kids, regeneration. Then we have semi-sextile, which is allowing, which speaks directly to this Fool card. The Fool card is all about new beginnings, but it's taking that leap of faith, allowing Spirit to have you, allowing Spirit to catch you, because you have enough faith to jump off the cliff, jump head first into a new beginning. Cancer, this month looks great for you guys. For those of you that have done the work, that have swallowed that medicine, you guys are getting that healing, and you're going to be able to have all the things that you really want in this lifetime, particularly as it relates to relationships and giving birth to new life, whether that be in the form of a child, in the form of a business, or in the form of a new life for yourself. All right, Cancer, that has been your astro forecast and taroscope for the month of November 2020. I sincerely hope that you guys were able to get at least one important message from this reading. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below. Check them out, click on them, schedule a reading, order an astrology report. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I do a quick and dirty tarot read as well as a quick and dirty astro forecast for the upcoming week. That link is in the description box as well, so click on that so you can follow me over there. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. Cancer, if you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and trust me, tips are always truly appreciated, that link is in the description box as well. Cancer, my loves, as always, it is a privilege and an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.